Hey, welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Don't go away. On this show, we have the mayor of the city of Bryant, where we have foster children right here in this city. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm your host, Perry Black. On this show, we have another special, very special guest and a friend of mine, Mayor Chris Treat. Welcome, Mayor.
Thank you for having me.
To Second Chance Youth Ranch TV.
Well, I really appreciate you including me and inviting me.
Well, you know, at some point you just get to the bottom of the barrel and you go, who have we never had on the show?
Listen, I don't mind.
But, you know,
being the bottom of the barrel at all.
The first segment of this show for you and for the audience is just so our audience, which is worldwide, literally with the internet and through the Victory Television Network, covers way beyond the state of Arkansas.
Right. Awesome.
I want them to get to know you.
Okay.
That's based in the principle I heard John Maxwell say, the leadership guru. He said, people don't care how much you know, they know how much you care. And a lot of times we just come on TV and tell people what we want them to know, but I want them to know you. Yeah. If they can hear your heart, they can better hear with their ears what you say.
Right, sure.
So tell me a little bit about you. Where did you grow up? Because you look like you kept growing.
Can I answer, you know, you say that, and you're an illustration of that in my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
How so?
Well, when I was young in ministry, trying to start out in college ministry. Yeah. And raising money, and you know, I was naive and thought anybody I talked to was going to support this.
Oh yeah, that's what we all think.
But you and Family Church, this would have been 1995-ish.
Yeah.
You encouraged me so much.
Didn't you come to my office?
And you gave me some of your books. And I'm gonna tell you, in the fundraising, when you're thinking, you know, what am I would think back to just talking to you and well, at least somebody's believing God for me. And then you allowed me to come at a service, share a little bit. And
how old were you back then? Were you in your 20s?
I was a young, married, didn't have kids yet. I was 23.
How did we know one another, though?
You came to speak, and then you're at the high school, at
Bryant High School,
and then your kids.
They let me speak at Bryant High School.
They did. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
In Love Auditorium.
Mr. Spadoni.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was the principal. And
Spadoni, I think, if I remember right, you can correct me. You played basketball or something, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Spadoni had. Danny had come from, I think, Sherwood.
Oh, I never knew.
To Bryant.
Okay.
And my daughters, who were probably, you know, Leah, was in school with you. And so I got to know Mr. Spadoni, and I was doing schools throughout the state. And I told him, I said, you know, Bryant schools, I'll do free. Yeah. Other schools pay me, but I'll do them free because my children go here in the Bryant community. Yeah. And so we became good friends. Some years later, about 4 or 5 years ago, Danny Spadoni's granddaughter graduated right here at Arkansas Christian Academy.
I didn't know that.
So what goes around comes around.
Okay, all right. Well, his son and I graduated together.
What year was that?
That was 1990.
1990.
But my family moved here to Bryant in 1978. My dad was hired as a basketball coach, and my mom was hired to teach in the elementary. Yeah. And it was, you know, it was idyllic in a lot of ways. It was small, everybody raised everybody's kids then. Yeah. And there was no, you know.
Well, Bryant then was how big? 3,000, 3,500 people?
Yeah, exactly.
For people that don't know, Bryant is Reynolds Road, Benton is Alcoa Road, and that's the aluminum plants. But Reynolds had shut down. And so Bryant was it was a sleeper community.
It really was.
I came here in about 85 or 6. Okay. And I drove into Richardson Place. Curtis Ferguson and his partners were developing that. And I said, $17,500 to live in Bryant? Oh, God. That is insane. And ended up buying the lot, built a house there. And we were, I think, about the 7th person to move into Richardson Place, which is literally 2 blocks from the high school.
Yep.
And as a result, my daughters attended the Bryant schools and so forth.
Great time to grow up in Bryant.
So you were there when I spoke. Now, did you graduate with Shane Broadway?
Who was Shane at one point I met Shane in kindergarten at the used to be First Baptist. Now they've moved out on Highway 5, but it used to be right there at the stoplight.
Park Place.
And it was so there was First Baptist and First Southern.
I got you.
Which know, I did not.
Oh, on the corner.
Right there on the corner.
Yeah, on the corner.
Yeah, and the school had their kindergarten there.
Yeah.
And I met Shane in kindergarten, and we've been best friends since that day. And
well, you know, everybody knows Shane Broadway in the state of Arkansas now. Is he still serving in the educational department up in ASU?
Yeah, he still works for ASU.
Yeah, and that's my hometown.
He stole my girlfriend in the summer '88, but that's a whole other. I'm not bitter.
Hey, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. That's why he's been buying donuts for everybody for the past 40 years.
He's feeling bad. He's feeling bad.
So you came to my office. You were in your early 20s, starting in ministry, trying to figure out. It just, everybody want to help me. Did everybody help you?
You know, no. I didn't grow up in the church. Okay, my family.
Yeah, my problem was I grew up at home. What about you?
Well, we were nominally Catholic. My mother was raised Catholic, went to Catholic school her whole life, and her poor parents, right, who protected this little Catholic girl. Then this boy from Arkansas moves up there. She falls in love. Next thing you know, so we went to Mass and Our Lady of Fatima in Benton, and it was a wonderful experience as a kid. I didn't have any bad experiences, but I didn't have any. There wasn't any connection as far as people, a community of people that I could go to, except for the Bailey family, and they took me to Abundant Life. Do you remember Abundant Life when it was over?
Oh yeah, you're talking about John Bailey.
Yes.
Head of the state police for a number of years, personal friend. Yeah.
They took me in.
Yeah.
And shared the gospel with me and really helped me grow in my faith and have a personal relationship with Christ. And I was about 15. And
so did you know his daughter then with Doxa?
Yeah,
we support Doxa.
I think I'm helping with their thing Saturday.
Oh, well, cool.
And Matt, his boy, and I were really good friends. And Miss Sharon, who's passed away now, just very instrumental.
Yeah.
In my life and my faith, and so. I didn't have a whole lot of people I could go and talk to about what I was trying to do, but I remembered you, and y'all were starting to roll right here. And I said,
I have a face it's hard to forget.
Well, your enthusiasm, right, is helpful.
Yeah,
especially for a young guy trying to navigate the church world. Yeah, that you think everybody loves each other.
Well, good luck on that. Hey, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. You would think everybody loves one another. The motto of my life is being on fire for Jesus. Yeah. This show is about mentoring, fostering, and adopting. You're right here in our community. We're honored to have you on the set. We'll be right back with Mayor Chris Treat.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, You are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Our special guest, if you're just joining us, is Mayor Chris Treat from the mega city of Camelot, right here in Bryant, Arkansas.
Bryant, Arkansas, it is.
You know, Chris, you were talking about people loving one another, but I moved here in about 1986 to Richardson Place, just down from the high school. And I would get off the interstate and drive down Reynolds Road, these two little streets. There are about 4,000 people in the community back then. And what a sweet little town. I call it to this day my Camelot. You know, the Richard Harris movie, Camelot, Camelot, there's no more congenial spot than here in Camelot. And that's just what I've always called Bryant. Now, Camelot now went from about 4,000 people to officially
over 20,000.
Over 20, and unofficially probably pushing 30.
Yeah, well, you know, the school district is massive, right? Our city limits are small, but a lot of these people that live right outside of the city limits, Bryant, they don't even know that. I can't tell you how people said, I'm going to vote for you. I'm like, no, you're not. You don't live in the city.
Well, I got friends and family, whatever, that live in Alexander off of Hilltop. But they all go to everything in Bryant.
Right, that's right. So you take in that school district. It's a lot.
Now you said at the closing of that first segment something about you began to learn as a young guy starting out in ministry that you just thought all Christians loved one another.
Yeah, I did. I didn't. I was real naive about denominations and theological things that people fought over.
Well, you know one thing I learned about Bryant when I moved here, a little town of 4,000, and then in some years later in 1990 we started the church. A little bit of competition here in town. A lot of, and all towns deal with people that have lived there forever that don't want it to change and all that, and that's what you deal with at the city. Right. But within the churches, there's that same feeling of competition. And I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm not even in competition with the devil because he's defeated. Right. And we're more than conquerors in Christ. So I think there's great opportunities for people in Arkansas and in churches and communities to work together to change the world and make it a better place. I feel like a Michael Jackson song. Make the world a better place.
You know, in a lot of conversations I have with non-believers, I mean, that's some of what, you know, they'll know you by your fruits, right? And that idea of us bickering with each other, you know, at some point, it's a life we live that proclaims the gospel before we even say a word.
Yeah, Sir Francis said, preach the gospel at all times, use words when absolutely necessary. Isn't that good?
That's so
good. You got to live it, and none of us can live it perfectly, which gives others opportunity to criticize. But there's a difference between hypocrisy and weakness or immaturity. A hypocrite knows to do good, doesn't do it. That's sinful. An immature person is still learning and figuring out what does it even mean. So you found out people didn't love each other. Tell me this, because I've never asked you this. What was it when we met in my office that you went away going, man, this guy's for me?
Well, you prayed for me.
No way.
Yeah. And you encouraged me. It was realistic.
And what were you getting ready to do?
So I had kind of cut my teeth in college. I went to play college at basketball at UCA, and I got plugged in to a college ministry called Student Mobilization. And they were real. You remember the Navigators?
Oh yeah.
That group, real discipleship focused. They kind of came out of that Navigators movement. So it was a lot of real one-on-one discipleship, and which I really appreciated. And so I thought, man, I want to go do this somewhere else. I've kind of got a little entrepreneurial kind of. So I said, look, they were starting to do some stuff in Mississippi. I said, I want to pioneer a campus for you, which, you know, was a lot more difficult than I thought. But, you know.
The pioneers get the arrows. Yeah.
So we went to Delta State. And we started that ministry there. And I did a lot of I did a lot of knocking on doors and the dorms and hanging out in the cafeteria, really trying to connect with non-believers, and loved it. I really loved that part of ministry, that just the engaging relationally with people that weren't Christians and wanted to talk about it, and were willing to. Not everybody, got converted. Yeah. But at the very least, I felt like I was being used by God in the process
planting those seeds
of their conversion, and I loved that. I loved it. We did that for 3 years, and then we came back, started having kids, and started needing to be more, have a check that I didn't have to raise.
These bills are regular.
That's right.
And these diapers are expensive. But you spent some time pastoring a church.
Yes, sir, I did. We came back. And
this is confusing to me, Chris. I don't mind telling you. I'm talking to you about ministry, and you're a mayor. And people say, well, Christians can't be involved in politics. So you pastored a church. Tell me about that. We got 2 minutes.
Yeah, Dan, that's a lot. I did a lot of church planting. So I'd plant a church, get it up and running, hand it over to somebody that was really good at taking it to the next phase. So I planted and helped plant 3 churches, and I came back here to plant. That's originally why we moved back to Bryant in 2013, was to plant a church. And then COVID really,
oh boy,
it was brutal on a young fledgling church.
Sure.
But you trust God with it, right? He understands what he's doing.
And so after the church, or in and around that time of the church, then you took over working with Parks and Recreation here for the city.
And that's where I really was trying to focus on. I was church planting at the same time, and I really wanted, how that is. If I'm going to go after non-believers, the thing I know is they're not going to tithe. I didn't want it to be about my income. Yeah. And so, which is common bivocational, right? And so that's what I was when I started as Parks Director. Is bivocational.
And how long ago did you become the mayor of the city?
I'm almost a little over 2 years. It was March 15th, 2 years ago.
50 seconds. Why in the world does a guy called to ministry end up running and being elected the mayor of a city? You now have 40 seconds. That's a tough one.
Well, man, that's a theological answer to that. But honestly, at the end of the day, is we're called to serve. And feel like God called me to serve the city that I love.
Well, I hate to do the old countdown here. We got 30 seconds, but you found out that Christians have trouble loving each other. Have you found out that sinners have the same sort of problem?
Man, it's everywhere, right?
Jesus said it kind of like this: by this shall all men know you're my followers, you're my disciples, that you have love for one another. And we've got to learn how to love each other within the body of Christ, regardless of our churches, if we're going to reach a dying world. We're going to take a break and be right back.
When I grow up, I want to be Sonic the Hedgehog.
That'd be cool. What would you do if you were Sonic?
Run, jump, and spin dash. So what are we going to do after? My name is Christian. I'm 11 years old. I like to ride bikes, and I like to play with scooters. My favorite part about school is science. My other favorite part at school is math, and my other one is reading. If I had $1 million, I would go to the store and I'd let people get some food and something.
Look at you just chilling, hanging out. Okay, but give me that good Christian smile right here. Look at me. Now laugh. Do that funny laugh.
I want to be adopted by a nice family that loves me and I love them. I'm a good person. I'm kind and I am lovable, and family is a good family that take care of us. My favorite food is shrimp and ramen noodles mixed up with cheese in it. If if I only have one wish, I wish to be Sonic the Hedgehog.
Welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Mayor, on that segment, we just watched Christy Irwin's ministry called Project Zero, working with DCFS, Department of Children and Family Services, videos of young children or young people believing God, many of them praying for somebody to adopt them. And this show is all about fostering, mentoring, and adopting. And right here in your city and mine, our Camelot, we have on this very campus 4 foster homes right here, probably with 20 to 24 foster children. Currently, as of today, we have 93 foster children at Second Chance Youth Ranch. Previously, last week, we had 100, so we've had some that have gone home. Our goals are always family reunification. If that doesn't happen, adoption. If that doesn't happen, we just keep them until they become adults. And so currently today, as the taping of this show, we have 93 foster children. And we have an opening for a foster family right now. If you're interested in doing this and giving your life away and being paid to do it, contact us right here at 2CYR-TV or contact us at 2CYR.org and talk to Billy and Rachel, 501-594-5200. Right here in our city. In our wonderful Camelot that used to be 3,500 people, now over 20,000 people. Tell me about the project, Bryant Leap Forward. What's that all about?
Well, it's a comprehensive growth plan, okay? The growth isn't slowing down. People are still coming. It's safe here. The school district's good. The whole county's booming.
Now, a lot of people may not even know that a city or a community generally will have a 25-year growth plan that's forever being modified and growing. That's what we're really Bryant Leap Forward.
That's exactly what we're doing. We're setting a vision. The illustration I like to use is when I was raising a family. We're going to go out to eat. Before we got in the car, I said, "Where are we going?" Because we're not getting in the car and arguing about where we're going. We're going to decide now. We're heading that direction. And then when we got in the car, somebody wanted to go somewhere. No, we already decided. That's the idea, is that as a community we come together and we say, hey, we're headed in this direction.
What's the vision? Make it plain.
What's the vision? Here's the priorities. And then we head in that direction. And so on the front end, there's a lot of community involvement, a lot of surveys. BryantLeapForward.com right now is the first survey. And then starting April 27th, we have a design week, which we'll be inviting everybody to come certain days of that week to Bishop Park to tell us, where would you put commercial, or where do you think this should go, or what's your biggest concern? And as we take all that feedback in, we begin to see kind of a plan, prioritization.
Mayor Farmer told me on a recent visit with him that they have hundreds of houses on the board. They've got a little bit more land than we have. So where are we at as far as residential expansion? We started the church with a little old community of 4,000 people, not realizing it was going to take off.
Well, we had more residential housing permits last year than we've had in the last 5 or 10. So, and the other thing that's really big is multifamily, duplexes, triplexes. A lot of interest in those. A lot of interest in how do we maximize the land, the space. But you got our deal is infrastructure, public safety, quality of life. That's our job, right? And so, how do we manage that continued growth and making sure we get the infrastructure in place, and how are we going to pay for it?
Well, and everybody in town wants us to grow, just not in my back door.
That's right. Not in my backyard. It's funny how we live in a place where people want small government until they need the government to tell their neighbor not to do so. But part of what will happen on the back end of this is writing the ordinances and codes to make sure we keep going in the right direction. But I think one of the biggest questions that we'll put forward to the people next year from this plan is, okay, here's where you said you wanted to go. Now here's how we think we can pay for it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the cost of widening Spring Hill and, you know, like that's got to get paid for.
Yeah.
And so we have to ask people, hey, how do you want to pay for it? And one of the things that I found real surprising, and you might be able to really help me with this, is I like to put things out on the ballot. I want to add, just go vote. Say no if you want to.
Yeah.
But at least, people get real frustrated when they're asked to vote on something and they feel like you're pushing something down my throat. And honestly, I'm not. I just would like to know if you like this plan. And so how you know, from your perspective, when the local government's saying, hey, we got to pay for these things, how do we bring that? What's the best way to bring that to the people?
Oh, what I do here at the church, I just cast vision. This is, again, Bryant Leap Forward. Here's where we're wanting to take the city.
Okay.
It's impossible to stay a community of 4,000 with 22,000, 25,000 people here.
Right.
You've got to grow the infrastructure.
Yeah.
If you don't like the traffic on Spring Hill, you're going to have to widen it because the traffic's not going to decrease.
Right.
So you just have to cast the vision
Okay.
repeatedly and just keep laying it out there. My wife asked me 10 or 15 years ago, do you have to talk about this all the time? I said, yes, I do.
Man,
it's called vision casting, casting. You know, if you go fishing, you keep casting.
Right.
Even if you catch fish, keep casting.
Keep
so
going.
you have to keep laying that out before the people. And here, and you probably know this in leadership, what is our why?
Yeah.
Why do we want to widen the road? Why do we want to increase? Why do we want to grow? Well, we're like here at the church in Arkansas Christian Academy, Second Chance Ranch, we're wanting to enhance the opportunities for those that we serve. That's what we're all about.
Right.
Got a minute and a half.
Word. That's a good word. And I think that's how do we want to serve you well, right? And people move here because it's a great place to live.
Yeah.
We want to keep it a great place to live.
Yeah.
And here's the vision and what you've given us, what you've told us you want.
Yeah.
And that comes down to streets and stormwater, public safety and parks. Those are the three big ones. Boom, 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 boom. That's what everybody's concerned about, and so that's the vision that'll keep pressing. This is what you told us you want for your city.
Yeah, this is what you want. Can I tell you how much it's going to cost you?
That's right.
What's in it for me is the number one question. Well, on this show, what's in it for me? What's in it for you? What's in it for those who view this show? Is how can you and I? How can we as a city? How as we as a community of faith enhance the opportunities for those in foster care? Here in the state of Arkansas, around the nation, it's called a foster care crisis. This show is on the air, partnered with Victory Television Network and Project Zero, Christy Irwin, to continue to remind our viewers, number one, thanks for watching, thanks for praying, thanks for caring, and thanks for helping. We in the church and in the community cannot do it alone. We've got to have you and God's help. Thank you for being a part of Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Mayor, thanks for being with us. We'll see you next week right here.